Hey guys, Storm Soulfire here, and today I'm back with a deck profile, but this time I thought let's go back to another TCG I haven't done a video on in ages since I've started to mostly focus on Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot lately, I've noticed, but I thought let's go back to some of my earlier day stuff, which is a Vanguard deck profile, specifically Purgatory Dragon Deity Favrneel. So I went to Comic Con recently, and the Star deck set was in one of the stands. So I just bought that, and I wanted to build this deck for literally ages. So yeah, it's been a while since I've done a Vanguard related video. I've literally just checked; it was back in October of 2023. So I thought let's do a video, give it a try, and if it does well, I might start doing some more Vanguard videos again. Remember to like and subscribe, and let's go straight to the deck profile, shall we? We'll start with the ride deck. I do have the energy stuff, but it's in one of my other decks right now, so I can't remember which one it is, so I'll have to start fishing for that at some point. But this is just a Bob standard normal one. So start off, we have the starter, which is Clock Hands Dragon, the grade 1, the grade 2 of the line, and the grade 3, which is Favrneel. So anyone who's new to Vanguard or already knows, you're only allowed one copy of Favrneel in a deck. But there's a lot of cards that let you do Persona Ride and all that because it has the Persona Ride icon. And he's just a. I always thought when I looked at him, he was actually a really cool dragon. And now having it, I'm glad I finally got it because it's one of my favorite decks. So what he does is at the beginning of the main phase, your opponent chooses one of their rear guards to retire. But if they do not retire a unit, he gains 10k and a crit, which is very good. And every time a rear guard is retired from your opponent's side, you get to put a card from your hand into the soul and draw 3 cards. So that's very good. And then when you're at 13 or more, sorry, was it? At the end of the battle, this unit attacks. So if after it's attacked, if you count blast 1, you can restand it if the grade of all the Dark States cards underneath it are 13, which is you're going to get to that very easily by literally when you ride up, if you're lucky. So yeah. I am looking into changing this ride deck. I'm thinking one might do is replace these two with the Bruce ride line cards because they're much better than these two. But I've got to remember where they are, and so I can't remember off the top of my head at this point in history. And now we'll start with the grade 3. So we have 4 copies of Executioner Dragon, one of the go-to cards for Favrneel, who can Soul Blast 2 to retire one of the opponent's rear guards, which does trigger Favrneel's ability. And when he attacks, you get a free Soul Charge 2 if it hits. And then we have Purgatory Baron Herodis? Sure, I'm guessing at this point. So with him, if it's on rear and you have Favrneel as your Vanguard, which you obviously will, you put this into the Soul and make your opponent retire. So you putting this in the Soul and then getting another card in Soul, that's very good. And then at the beginning of your ride phase, if this is in the soul, you can bind and discard a card from your hand, and then this will let you Persona Ride. So that's how you get around only having one copy of Favrneel in a deck, which is very good. Then a bunch of like random little extra bits for grade 3s. We have 2 copies of Reaper in the Shadows Zelmont, 2 Time Jarrett, 1 Demonic Swordsman of Rivering Elgos. This is mostly just from what the start deck up thingy Mobob has, but I've made a couple changes. And the Regalia piece, Gratis Gratitude, which is very good, because this also lets you do Persona Ride with Favrneel as well. So there's many ways you can get around it. Let's just say that. For grade 2, so this is starting to show some of the stuff I've added. We have 3 Demonic Stone Dragon Marvera from the Demonic Dragon deck. So what he does is, by Count Blasting 1, when it's placed, you get to choose a card from the drop and put in the soul, and then if you have 4 more cards with different grades in the soul, this game's plus 10, so you can turn it to 20k easily, because you're going to have grade 0s to 3s easily in the soul. So I thought it was just a nice little bodybuilder, in a way. I want to get a few more copies of this, but Steam Mage Ashurada, because what he does is, if you use him for a guard, and there's 7 more cards in the soul, he gains another 5k, so it becomes a 10k shield, and then when it's retired from rear, you put in the soul, so that means you're building up more soul. I've Just look into that. And then one of the best cards in Favrneel, I will have to say, which is 4 copies of Squalid's Freaks. So for those unaware, so what he does is, if you do not ride this turn, so by when you get to Favrneel, you're not riding at all, his grade goes up by 2, so he counts as a grade 4 in the soul, which is very good, because that gets you steps closer to Favreel's ability to restand. And then when you're grade 3 or grade to Vanguard attacks, and if you did not ride this turn, if you bind it, all your front row gains 5k, so you're hitting for massive numbers easily. Such a good card. If this card ever gets hit in the format, I'm going to cry because I love this card too much. Now for grade 1. So we have one Falcate Performer just to get some resources back. One Brainwash. Would love to get more Brainwashes at some point. I'm going to have to look into that because this is one of the best cards. So when it's placed, you soul charge, and every time you soul charge, while your Vanguard's grade 3 or greater, it gains 5k. So, and plus that whole +5 thing is not once per turn, so you could stack it up and it's just going to become very, very, very massive. And then we have 3 copies of Steam Battler Gungan Rum, including the misprint one. Yeah. So he can on-play Soul Charge, and once a turn, if you Soul Blast 3, you get a free draw, so not bad, because you can filter out grade 0s with this, and then you are pretty much one step to maybe getting something very decent. 2 copies of Friend of the Neverwind Ling, because Ling is such a good card, I would say, as well. When it's placed, you can check the top 2, you bot deck one of the cards and put the other in the soul, so it's a nice little filter. And then in theory, if you stack it enough, you're going to hit a lot of triggers at one point in the game. And then every Vanguard player knows this bit, which is 4 perfect cards. Oh shit. Not like that. Not like that. No, no, no. But yeah, 4 of the Repel Malice Dragon with the effect of if your hand has 2 or more cards, you have to discard. So if you have less than 2 cards in hand, you don't have to discard to activate perfect cards, which is such a good thing. Easily one of my favorites. And then for triggers, we have 1 over trigger, which is the Hate These Dragon of Dragon Deity of something, I can't remember, Guild, which gives the Vanguard for the rest of the game plus 10k plus 1 crit, so even if you hit this at grade 1, it will still stack. I fucking love that effect. And we have 4 heal triggers, including 2 copies of this one, where if we go second, we can use this, and then it becomes a 20k shield, which is very good. 3 copies, 3 draws, including 1 effect draw. And then 8 criticals, because Favrneel loves to hit with the crits, baby. But yeah, that was the deck profile. Let me know if you guys are interested in maybe more deck profiles like this, because I would love to do some Vanguard stuff again. It's been a while since I've done it, and I just felt like maybe it's a chance to bring it back in 2025. But for now, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.